So I'm currently heading over to Joshua Tree National Park right now, and the goal of this session is to work on a V6 project called Dream Sequence. I recently found this climb on YouTube, and it looked pretty cool and inspiring, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Assuming that the climb is too difficult for me, I'm gonna head back over to Intersection Rock and give Caveman a try, which is also another V6/7. A while back, I was able to do the Caveman finish, which is the ending portion of the Caveman route, but I haven't linked all the moves yet from the 6 portion. So I think that'll be the goal, is if Dream Sequence doesn't go or it's too hard, I'll just end up trying a couple of the moves there and heading over to Caveman to make some links on some of the moves there as well. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna head back over to Barker Dam, where there's this area called Alistair's Cave that I ended up trying to find last time I went. It's a pretty well hidden area, just mainly because in order to get there, you have to scramble up the side of like a cliff. And I haven't really seen much information about it online, at least showcasing where to get to that scramble. But when I ended up going last time with my friend, we were trying to find the location to start the scramble, but it was pretty well hidden, and all the descriptions that we were given on Mountain Project or other websites didn't really give us that good of a description on like where to go. If I remember correctly, like I think on Mountain Project it says to like look for some sort of like oak tree, but when you get into the area there's like a bunch of trees everywhere, so it's just kind of hard to like figure out which tree they're talking about. And this time around I ended up bringing the Joshua Tree Bouldering guidebook, which has like this really nice picture that has a dotted line indicating where you're supposed to start for the scramble and how to get into the area itself. So I think a nice follow-up video is gonna be just making a guide on how to get to Alistair's Cave, because it does have some really nice climbs in there, such as Sex Magician, which is a V7, and that's the one that I wanna work on, as well as Diary of a Dope Fiend, which personally to me, from what I've seen, looks like the best or one of the best V8s in the park. So it's a pretty nice area, and I do think that there will be people potentially in the future who want to know how to get to Alistair's Cave. So I think that making a guide just showcasing how to get there, because it's kind of a more inaccessible area, will make the overall experience a lot easier for everybody. So I think that'll be another goal, or like the third goal for this video. And other than that, that should be it. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so I just got here at the boulder. This is Dream Sequence. It's the starting holds are actually a lot worse than I thought. So basically, you start right hand here, compressed with the left side of the rock. So your left hand goes here. It's kind of like just like a flat edge, just enough to like be able to hold it and get a good foot on. Afterwards, I think your foot, from what it seems, goes down here. So you can see there's like a little lip here for your foot. This would normally be like a crimp for a handhold, but since it's so low, you're using that as a foot. And then afterwards, the first move seems to be the crux to me. So once you're in this compressed position, you have a big throw up to this crimp. It's pretty decent. You lock it off probably with a full crimp. And from here, I think I've seen some people bump to this as well, this crimp, but I definitely feel like this one is a lot better. So this is probably what I'm gonna do. And then you get your left foot over here, and no, I think you go right foot. You go right heel here, and then I've seen some people do left foot back flag here against the wall just to like toe hook it. And then from there, you go with your left hand, comes up to this. It's a little bit more in cut here, so you have a bit of a divot right here, and this is where your left comes, and you can really compress once you're there. Get a high left heel somewhere around here just to hold yourself in. And then you switch this to the heel as well. I think it seems like a lot of people put the heel here. I'm sure that there's other ways to put it. You might be able to put it over here as well, but it seems like here seems to be the most popular spot just because there's a bit of an in cut here. So I think the right heel goes here, left heel, and then your right hand comes up, I think, to here. It's a bit of a slot that you can do. You can kind of pinch that a bit. I don't really know what that one feels like. It's actually this one's a little bit better. It's more of like a crimp, probably about I'd say maybe 20 to 25 millimeters, and then from there it seems like you go either right hand or left hand to that little lip right there with the chalk, and then you get a high left heel, and then you just push up, and there's a bit of a in cut area up there. Not sure if you guys can see that, but there's a bit of an in cut area up there that you can grab with the left hand to help, and then you can turn your right hand into a palm press, and you basically just once you get your hip over, this area is pretty decent, especially if you get like a really far heel, because there's a bit of an in cut, like there's a bit of a jagged rock right there. Not sure if you guys can see, but there's a bit of an in cut there, so you can get your heel over. Not sure if that's the right way to do it, but if not, there's enough texture on this rock right here that you can just kind of put your heel almost anywhere, and you should be pretty golden. And those are like slopery kind of holds, so you just kind of use that and the texture and mantle yourself over. And the slab is relatively easy going up. There's like a lot more texture than I originally thought. I actually thought that the slab was the scary part watching the video, but now that I'm actually here, it definitely feels like the first move is gonna be the hardest. So assuming that I can't do it, I'll probably skip it and then start from position 2 and see what I can go from here. So basically, after I hit this, see where I can go from here and see if I can make the other move, which is the bump up to here with the left hand. So that will be the play. Bro, this is a nothing burger. So it seems like the left foot, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's all the way down there. The left foot feels a lot better. Like, I can't really hold the position, but at the very least, like, it does make it a lot more doable in that position. I can kind of like pull a little bit. Can't really bring like my right side off of the ground, but overall, I think it's the right hand for me that's really hard to understand. I don't really understand like what I'm supposed to do with it. It's really, really, really bad. Like, it's basically a flat edge, so you kind of just have to compress it, but there's like no in cut. Like it's basically just flat, and then you're obviously at an angle, so that doesn't help. And the left edge is a little bit better because it has some texture on it, so you can kind of like crimp that to an extent, but at least for me, it's a little bit too hard to get on. So I think I'm gonna try again from move 2. So after the first move, I think the first move is the crux. Now that I'm here, I do think that the first move is the crux, and we'll see what I can do from move 2. Okay, that's actually progress. So it feels like
It feels like once I get the right hand onto the crimp, getting that right foot over really does help a lot. It kind of leverages a lot of my weight off. So I think I'm gonna give it another burn, and I'm gonna rest for a couple minutes, give it another burn, and see where we can go from there. I was able to make a move off of that move. So once I got the heel here, I was able to leverage this right hand hold and make some bumps up here, but it feels like this bump is quite far, and it could be that I need to go for just a bigger launch to get this position, because this position is pretty fucking good. So once I get here, I'm pretty confident that I'll be stable to move my feet a lot more confidently. But it feels like from this lower position, since I really like the hold from the lowermost point, it feels like it's quite hard to get my left hand all the way up here. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so my camera actually turned off because it overheated, and there's not really anywhere that I can put it that has shade that isn't super far away aside from where it is right now. So I apologize for the little plants like blocking the way, but that's just kind of how it's gonna be, because I put it in front of the plants before, so the view was a little bit closer and it was a little bit better. But since my camera overheated, the only other area that I'd be able to put it is either to the side over here on my left or to my right. And either way, if I put it in one of those locations, you wouldn't be able to see me doing any of the moves, just because you'd only be able to see like one side of what's going on. So I feel like this is just going to be how it is, and there's not really much I can do about it. So I apologize for that. Maybe next time I can get like a little like setup where I can put like a little tent over the camera to keep it cool. But I didn't really think about that. I didn't realize that it was going to overheat. So yeah, my bad, guys. I'll be better next time. Okay. Yeah. So that worked. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. That attempt felt a little bit better. I aimed for it, didn't quite hit it. Happens. I'm gonna try to go a little bit higher next time and see how it goes. I think now I've kind of realized, at my current level and my current strength, I don't know if this move is possible for me. I can maybe see me getting it like as a one-hit wonder, but I definitely don't see it as a consistent thing. So I'm gonna try using the 3 superpowers right now and seeing if that does anything, and trying to just brute force the way through. So I'm gonna full crimp it, take off my shirt, yell really loud, and breathe really hard. So I think I'm gonna use those main superpowers and see if I can do anything from it. If not, then at the very least, I know that I have given it everything that I got, and I'm gonna move on to trying out the moves from that position. So once you hit that left hand hold. Ah! Ah! Oh, okay. Felt better. So this is Caveman. There's a V10 start from down here if you do a Yabo start or a sit start. From here, this giant flake, this is 7 or potentially 7 or 6, depending on whether or not you use this jug over here. This is called the hidden hold. If you use that, it's a 6. If you don't use that, it's a 7. But basically, start on the huge flake, make your way over with this kind of compression move into another huge jug flake, and then your feet are kind of bad, so you make your way over using this undercling. I like this one the best just because it has a bit of in-cut in there. I think you can kind of see that. Everything else is kind of slippery or glossy, and then once you get over there, you're trying to get all the way into either that jug or from that jug, I mean, into that one, and then ideally you have that one through your right hand, come out left over here, bump here, I think cross back over right over this way, and then from here you can choose whether or not you want to use the hidden hold or not, and then from there it comes down, and this is I think this is the crux of the problem. So there's not really that many good holds from here. You can use a little pocket there, that's decent, but your left hand is pretty good over here if you can make it. Basically you get over here, this is a really good slot. It's kind of polished now, as you can see, because so many people have climbed this, but this is where you start for the 3. So you have hand in here, left hand here, right hand here, and then you go actually right hand here. Even though this looks kind of like a left hand hold, you actually want to go right hand here, and then you have a little intermediate if you want. I don't use this, some people do, but I don't use this. And then what I do is I do left hand here as kind of an undercling, and then I go big with the right over here, which is a jug, and then you just go jug, jug, and then finish off right there, another jug. So not too bad, big kind of spanning moves. I definitely think the taller you are, the better for this problem, just because you might have some reach for some of the holds that you might not have to like bump multiple times. But yes, we're gonna try some of the links. I think I'm gonna try, I might just try from here, like this position. Interesting. Oh my god. Okay, that kind of did something. I think like the idea there was to utilize like the goodness, I would say, of the handholds instead of the feet, because I think I've seen on a beta video someone put their feet down there, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, I just don't know how that's possible. At least like I feel really like extended, so I'm using like basically like the tips of my toes to like smear against it, and even like trying to move just a little bit, it like pops right off, like my toe just comes straight off. So I think that beta seems pretty good, because basically I get like a really high foot, match hands, and then I come in with a shoulder move, and then I think from there I'm not exactly sure what else to do. I think my beta is right, because I saw the same thing. The guy came in here, the beta video I watched, he came in here, and then afterwards, he had a right foot, changed to right foot, back fly with the left foot, came in matched with the right hand, and then came down here, and this position's okay, but obviously there's a giant rock right here, and I don't want to get a concussion, so we're going to try to avoid that. Maybe we'll try the move just to see how it works, but I definitely feel like if you do this move poorly, you're going to fall right back on your head. So not really sure how I feel about that, but I think it's we'll just give it another shot and we'll see how it goes. At the very least, I'm going to practice that little link because I definitely think that I like my link there, that beta that I just came up with. So I'm going to keep trying that for now and make sure that I got that dialed in, and we'll go from there. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Man, that's a hard move. You got it, you got it. Nice, easy. Come on, yeah. Hey guys, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching the whole way. I'm just going to do a quick session breakdown and explain my thoughts on the whole process and what happened. Overall, I'd have to say that the session was a big success. I got to try out some of the moves on Dream Sequence, even though I wasn't able to do much on the boulder itself. I really liked the progress that I made also on Caveman. Linking the bit before having to go under, I think that opens up like a lot of window for me to continue trying the problem in the future. And I think the next time I head back there, I will try it from the very beginning. So all the way from the start, and then try to link the start section into the section that I worked on in this session. So once that part's figured out, I'm pretty sure it should go in a couple more sessions once I link everything all together. But I ended up not being able to head over to Alistair's cave just because of the fact that by the time I was done with the caveman session, it was getting really dark and I didn't bring my duffel bag with me, which carries like all my lamps and headlights and everything like that. So I felt like making a video in the dark was kind of, in a way, like against the spirit of like the point of the video, which is like, oh, I'm trying to showcase like where this place actually is. And doing it at night is just going to make it like way harder to find anyway. So I didn't really find that to be very appropriate. So instead I ended up just heading home. Regardless, I had about like I think a 7-hour session out in J-Tree, which I think is pretty decent. Got to work some of the moves and overall had a good time. In the future, I was talking to some local climbers recently, just at my local gym, and I asked them for help on what I should do about the Dream Sequence project, just because of the fact that that first move felt so desperate and super impossible. So a lot of them gave me advice as to like work on my chest and just really try to like get those compression moves down. And I think that'll be something that I try out at least. Doing a bunch of push-ups, maybe try benching again, and just try to work on developing that chest area so that I can pull onto that problem and then go from the first move instead of move 2.
On top of that, I think increasing my flexibility. So I already do stretches like before every single session, but I think maybe something that can help me do more of like a split, I think would be better because I've noticed that certain climbs, like if you're able to do the splits, it actually makes it like quite a bit easier, and there's some beta breaks that you can do. So especially since that move, once you get like the double heel, like requires you to have like a pretty big span with your legs and to be flexible enough to like hold that position. I think it's a good idea to maybe train that as well. So in the future, when I do head back up to that project, that'll be like something that I come more prepared with. Lastly, I guess as a final note, I want to give a shout out to Caveman and his dad. They were two individuals that I ended up meeting towards the end of my session on the Caveman project, and we worked together a bit on the section that I put together, as well as the link from the beginning. Cayman was actually able to do the link from the beginning, so and I saw his beta the whole way through, so that looked really nice to me, and I'm probably most likely going to copy that. So I think from there it shouldn't be too much longer before I can link that part up to the part that I was able to do. But yeah, shout out to Cayman and his dad for also showing me around and working with me. They ended up taking me to Pigpen, which is another climb nearby, which is a V4 crack climb nearby, and we were working that for a little bit. Just like I didn't really do anything, I just was taking a look because I was too tired. I was at the end of my session. But yeah, shout out to them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time.